Welcome everybody to this week's bi-weekly community call. We hold our community calls every other week on Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. UTC. Today we have Brave and Hugh with us on the call today. Hugh is joining in from the Nexus Mutual main account, and we'll start off with a discussion of the state of DeFi in yields and risk. And then Brave will review the new listings on the UI. We have quite a few new protocol cover listings and also a lot of bundled protocol cover listings. We'll go over them briefly, and then we will review the new cover by UI, which is a really nice improvement to the UI. It's quite fast, and you can see your covers in a much neater way. You also get notifications when your cover is expiring. Brave will talk all about that. And then we'll review the latest updates from our governance, and Hugh will share his updates from the foundation, and we'll have the chance to answer any open questions in the end. And I'll share more details on how to receive this call's POAP in the end as well. Okay, let's get things started. How is the state of DeFi, Brave?
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Let's talk a little bit about the state of DeFi yields and risk. I'm still traveling this week, so I'm a bit behind on my state of DeFi yield report, but I'm hoping to have that out later this evening. There's quite a lot to cover in this week's issue, so I find that each issue is getting a little bit longer, but there's just a lot happening in DeFi right now. But here's an early preview for those of you on the call today. Looking at the market on a whole, the DeFi base rate has remained largely the same since last week's issue, with the bottom end of the base rate dropping down near 10%. Top end is still up in the mid 30% range. The top 7-day yield opportunities on Vault's FYI show a range of somewhere between 10 and 34%, with Gearbox V3's passive earn markets at the top of the leaderboard. Gearbox V3's earn opportunities are primarily on Ethereum, but Gearbox has also expanded onto Optimism and Arbitrum 1 at this point as well. So they're getting on a few more L2s, which is nice. Lending market yields have come down since last week. Gearbox V3 is the outlier, of course, with yields ranging from 29 to 34%. However, the rest of the lending markets range between 9 and 13%. At 13% figure is important since that's the benchmark rate that MakerDAO's DAI savings rate provides at the moment. But speaking of the DSR, there's a proposal on the MakerDAO forum to adjust stability fees for Maker Vaults, the bar rate in the Spark lending market, and the interest rate for the DSR. The proposal that's currently on the Maker forum outlines a 3% reduction across the board for all of these markets, which would mark down the DSR rate from 13% to 10%. The Block Analytical Labs report that they shared provided their outlook and their rationale for the changes on the MakerDAO forum. I'll share a brief quote from that. The latest dynamic suggests that highly bullish sentiment subsided in light of uncertain geopolitics and the macro environment, among other factors. The relative demand for long leverage decreased in recent weeks, resulting in a drop in borrowing and funding rates in various on-chain and CeFi crypto markets. So you can look on the MakerDAO forum for a little bit more explanation there, but I think in the next week or so, once the next MakerDAO executive vote goes through, the DSR will drop to 10%. This analysis matches the drop I've seen in funding rates across DeFi and CeFi for Bitcoin, ETH, and some of the other majors. Bitcoin and ETH are in the 4 to 12% range annualized for funding rates. There are some DeFi protocols like Synthetics and DYDX where funding rates are actually negative and traders are getting paid to open shorts. So demand for generalized leverage is down, which is why we've seen a drop in interest rates across lending markets. Aave's outstanding debt as a reflection has dropped from 4.84 billion last week to 4.54 billion this week. Looking at the yield environment, there's still quite a few yield opportunities on protocols we have listed on Nexus Mutual. Gearbox V3, like I talked about, their lending market is still providing high APYs since demand to farm ENA from Athena and liquid restaking token points is still very high. The mainnet market for Gearbox for USDC is around 18.5%. Go is at 19%. DAI is around 24%. USDT is 22%. And the rates for ETH are about 16.5%. There are some lower yield opportunities on L2s, but primarily the yields for Gearbox are on mainnet. Yields on the FX USD Curve LP pairs on Convex Finance are quite high as well. So the Go FX USD pair is around 51% variable APR. The Frax FX USD pair is around 42.5 variable APR, and the Curve USD FX USD pair is about 30.5 variable APR. The pendle yields are quite high for liquid restaking token holders interested in selling their yield in points. A few examples are the EtherFi principal token and the Renzo Easy ETH token principal token. Both of these have longer dated maturities now, which are active for the next 246 days. And the EtherFi principal token offers around 25% fixed APY for that time frame. The Renzo Easy ETH APY is around 30% for that same time frame. So these longer dated maturities are going to be kind of a boon for people that want to lock in a rate for a longer period of time. There are some other ones as well. There are some that are on Mainnet and Arbitrum. I'll have more detail and a wider breakdown on those in the newsletter. So for more information, just keep an eye on the next issue, which should be published later today. I've also created a channel on Farcaster for DeFi yields, but that's where I'll share my reports and where I'll share different yield opportunities that I'll highlight from that newsletter as well. On the risk side, we're seeing more hacks in recent months. Immunifi's latest crypto losses report for Q1 noted losses of 321.6 billion related to protocol hacks. Notable recent hacks that I've seen: the Prisma Phi hack, which is a fork of Liquidity. They suffered a loss of 11.6 million due to a vulnerability in the migrate trove zap contract. That contract was designed to migrate positions across troves. There was a missing check in there, which led to an exploit. Hedgy Finance suffered a loss of 44.7 million after their vesting smart contracts were exploited. And then we've seen some other forks that have either been exploited or they've upgraded parameters because they're controlled by a multi-sig, which resulted in loss for users. So it's a good reminder that you should be very careful when using protocol forks. You can usually find this information on DeFi Llama, but if you have any questions about protocols you're looking at, just drop into the Nexus Mutual Discord and we can provide some information there as well. And if there's a protocol you'd like to see listed so you can buy cover, just reach out in the Discord or to our contact form. You can also just send me a message on Twitter or Discord, but just a reminder to be careful out there. Sometimes when the market's hot, people forget about the risks that are present for smart contract risks. So just keep that in mind when you're looking. And if you have questions, just reach out to us on Discord. But I know I've covered a lot, but I'm going to go over to the new protocol cover listings. If anybody has any questions in the meantime, just feel free to interrupt me. In the last couple of weeks, we've added more Pendle bundle covers per request from members. So you'll find the Renzo Zircuit Pendle bundle, the KelpDAO Zircuit Pendle bundle, and the EtherFi Zircuit Pendle bundle. You can find these in the Nexus Mutual UI. These specific bundles protect against smart contract risk across EigenLayer, the specific liquid restaking token protocol, Pendle, and then the Zircuit staking contract on mainnet. We've had, like I said, a lot of requests for this, so we've added this. We've also added Arcadia protocol cover. Arcadia is a yield optimization protocol on Base that has recently launched. So those are the primarily the new listings. Just an FYI, we'll be on a new listing hiatus for the next week or so. But if there is a new listing you'd like the product and risk team to review, please reach out to us on Discord or send us a message at the contact form on the Nexus Mutual website. Again, you can DM me on Twitter or Discord and request a listing, and I'll make sure that gets reviewed during the next meeting. And if you've seen the new listings in the Nexus Mutual UI that you've noticed, we've overhauled the Buy Cover UI. So earlier this month, we announced that the Foundation engineering team has completed the overhaul and revamp of the Buy Cover UI to improve the look and feel of the UI, to offer members a smoother flow through the Buy Cover experience, to improve load times in the UI, and expand transparency around pricing and capacity and more. As a user myself, I really like that you can see the max capacity available in the cover details section when you're looking to buy cover for a specific product. There's also, this is also really nice when you adjust the cover period slider because you can see how much capacity is available for longer term covers. And if you're looking to buy cover for a product for a longer term cover period, and there isn't enough capacity, or there isn't enough capacity to buy for any given period, there's now an option to request more capacity directly in the UI. This was a highly requested feature, which allows members to communicate directly with staking pool managers and signal demand for cover, so capacity can be opened up. This should help address issues with supply and demand within the mutuals risk marketplace. And this week we've launched the cover expiry notifications. If you buy cover, you'll now get a notification 1 week before your cover expires. This should help members remember to renew their cover as needed if they'd like to renew. We'll be rolling out additional notifications for members in the future, but the cover expiration notifications were prioritized as this has been requested by members in the past. Keep an eye out for more updates on UI improvements and new notifications. But with that, I will hand things over to Hugh to give his foundation update. Hugh?
Cool, thanks, Brave. Yeah, lots going on in DeFi right now. So yeah, I'm Hugh here I'm on the Nexus main account this time around. Yeah, so I think one thing that's interesting with the yields right now, from my perspective, is that it seems like the first wave of restaking protocol points and stuff is kind of coming to an end, with the next waves kind of setting up, and there's and some tokens launching like EtherFi. So it'll be interesting to see how things develop. Also, like with the prices going down a bit over the last week or two, the funding rates have dampened as well. So maybe this is just a little bit of a lull, but we kind of think that there's going to be a lot of things coming up in the future, maybe with like restaking in the AVSs and stuff going live, and so expecting a lot more kind of yield opportunities to come out, and hopefully most of them are, well, a lot of the ones we're selling cover on right now are kind of around the Pendle system, like ecosystem, and there's probably going to be more of those types of things coming up. So it'd be interesting to see how things develop, but the yields are still very, very strong. So if you're getting 25% on ETH or even more, it's quite positive. So lots of opportunities out there if you're willing to do a bit of work. On my foundation update side of things, yeah, again, lots going on. One of the biggest things we had recently, we have updated the Liquid Collective slashing cover coverage with them. We worked together to kind of I guess just change the term slightly, have a slightly different structure to the coverage, but fundamentally covering slashing risk on their cover on the whole protocol. So that's been great to get live, and they've kind of renewed that for, I believe, like a quarter. So that's great to see. More generally, the performance of the bundled protocol cover product that we've kind of only recently listed over the past quarter or so has been very, very strong. So we've kind of got 80 million active cover now. We have over 500,000 premiums in Q2 so far. That's basically in the first month of Q2, we've earned more cover premiums than we have in all of Q1. So there's some really strong momentum happening at the moment, and it's driven primarily off the yield opportunities that are out there and people's willingness to buy cover to protect those positions. So lots of good things happening there. As Brave mentioned, we've got the UI changes have been released. Really happy with theirs. They look really, really slick and a lot better on mobile as well. And we'll be releasing more and more over the coming months, more and more different sections of things over the coming months. So yeah, have a look at that and check it out if you haven't already. A few other bits and pieces definitely going on. Here I can see Khan has joined us. Hey Khan. We're going to be finally executing on the first stage of the cover re-deal very shortly. So we're just kind of finalizing the final pieces of the documentation, and then we'll be looking to send across the funds. And then we can start discussing getting into the weeds of the retrocession deal, which will be very interesting for the mutual, and I think kind of pretty groundbreaking. So as the first part's pretty groundbreaking as well, but being at the edge of DeFi and TradFi and working out how that works at the intersection is all very very tricky at points, but it can definitely be very rewarding. So looking forward to getting that fully live. And there are a bunch of other things happening with some new cover products launching very soon with some partners. So we're looking to do some stuff with OpenCover, and we're looking to do some other coverage with some of the other protocols that have been building on top of us. I'll be able to share more in the coming weeks when they get a bit closer. So I think there's a lot of stuff going on, especially with the product development side of things within the crypto risk space, because I think the space in general is maturing a lot, and I think there's a lot more opportunities to cover risks that that we've haven't necessarily been able to do before. So it's been going really well, and I guess Brave, were you going to talk about the governance updates a bit after that? Yeah, I believe you are actually. So cool. I'll let you cover all that stuff off. But yeah, so I think there's quite a few big governance proposals that are upcoming. So it's worthwhile having a look at the forum. But I'll let Brave jump into those. So I think those are the big things from the foundation side. I guess so. Just to let others know, we're also hiring at the moment. So on the smart contract development side, we've also got a new marketing person coming and joining us soon. So yeah, excited to expand the team a bit and I guess capture some of the opportunity that's out there at the moment with DeFi and the prices and the yields in generally being quite positive. So yeah, I'm feeling quite good about things at the moment. Happy to take questions now or a bit later. So just stick your hand up if you've got something. Otherwise, I'll just pass over to Brave to kind of go through the governance.
Yeah, I'll cover some governance updates. So we've had a busy few weeks on the governance forum, and I want to provide a quick overview of some active proposals. The first one is now in the Nexus Mutual DAO proposal stage. Jeremiah of OpenCover has requested a grant of 230 NXM that will be used to help scale and continue to grow Nexus cover sales on L2s. For those of you who aren't aware, OpenCover is a distribution platform that's built on top of Nexus Mutual, and they sell cover on Base, Arbitrum, Optimism, and Polygon Proof of Stake. So they've requested a grant to offset some of the gas costs. Gas costs have been relatively high in the last few months, which Jeremiah has outlined in the forum. But he posted an RFC 2 weeks ago, and then he recently, I think on Saturday, escalated it to an NMDP on the forum. In the governance proposal, Jeremiah has summarized OpenCover's performance to date, shown the impact they've had on cover sales and premium growth, and made a case for this grant request. So you can review all of that on the forum. If there are no major comments on this will go to vote on Monday, April 29th. So take an opportunity to review that on the forum. If you have thoughts, if you have questions, feel free to raise those there. I'm happy to clarify anything, but I think the best person on this to answer questions is Jeremiah, but I can also alert him to any comments that are on the forum so he can respond in a timely fashion. But you can find that. It's labeled as NMDP number 4, grant to help scale L2 cover purchases via OpenCover on the Nexus Mutual Governance Forum. Another one that we have that's still in the request for comments phase is a proposal to add USDC as an asset within the capital pool. So 2 weeks ago, I posted an RFC to get feedback about adding USDC as an asset within the mutual's capital pool, so the mutual can offer USDC denominated covers. I've shared the rationale, which is largely based on 2 factors. One, members have requested to buy USDC denominated covers in the past. We've kind of seen those requests increase over time. And then if we have USDC in the capital pool, we have potential to underwrite new lines of business with USDC denominated covers, such as the DPEG cover product that we are currently working on. It's currently in development. So in the next day, I'll be posting a formal NMPIP for review. This will be up for review for the next 2 weeks before it goes to the on-chain votes. You can review the RFC in detail on the forum and share your thoughts and comments. Again, if there are no major comments, it'll go to vote, but if people have more comments and want to raise questions, it could be a little bit longer than 2 weeks. So just be sure to go and review that and share your thoughts, but that won't be going to a formal proposal for the next day or so. There is another proposal on the forum about creating the Nexus Mutual Community Staking Pool, and this is an RFC. So I've also posted this RFC on behalf of the DAO teams. This picks up an initiative from 2022 to allocate 57,000 NXM to stake against protocol cover and bundle protocol cover products to help grow cover sales and meet demand. originally when we had the WNXM buyback in late 2021, early 2022, members voted on what to do or how to utilize the WNXM that was bought back. So there were a variety of initiatives, and one of them was staking the NXM against cover products within the mutual to grow cover sales, bring in some premiums. This would also add a revenue source for the DAO treasury beyond the commissions that we're earning. So I posted this with an outline of the structure. Like I said, members have already allocated the 57,607 NXM for staking within the protocol and a previous NMDP in 2022. So what I'm proposing here is the structure and how it would actually be implemented. The signers can create a new staking pool, which would be managed by the product and risk team, which would be Hugh and myself, to open up capacity for protocol cover and bundle protocol cover products. The NXM and the multi-stake would be staked for a 1-year period, and the NXM staking NFT would be held within that multi-sig. I've proposed the safe multi-sig signers on the forum, which would be myself, Hugh, Rox, and Ray. So a mix of DAO team and foundation team members. And for more information on this one, you can review this RFC on the forum and share your thoughts. This will transition to a DAO proposal in the next week as well. So be sure to review and leave your comments. And then the last proposal that we have on the forum, I co-wrote this with Dopey as part of our effort to scale cover sales and increase premium growth through the mutual. So we're proposing the creation of a combined grants and accelerator program that has clear calls to action to fund one-off projects and emerging businesses with the capital they need to build on top of the mutual. With more teams building within our ecosystem, we can expand our distribution, develop new products, expand into new markets, and improve our existing products and interfaces. There's a lot of information in the proposal, but the core details are a request of $3 million in NXM to fund this program for an 18-month period. $1 million will be earmarked for the grants program. No individual grant will receive more than $100K, but we're anticipating smaller grants than that. Dopey has broken down some of the different categories. I imagine I'll be sharing an update on the forum about that here in the next week. But the bulk of the funds, $2 million, will be used for an accelerator program. This would be commitments of up to $500K per team upon being accepted to this program. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the accelerator program format, this is kind of like a YC Combinator or a Y Combinator program, where people would come in, we would work closely with them on the engineering side, on the product development side. These would be more ambitious businesses. This would be maybe new products that would be expanding into new markets. So, full stack, somebody basically creating a syndicate, which would be a staking pool, a third-party interface, and then their own distribution system that's built on top of the mutual. So we have more details about the accelerator aspect and the grant aspect in the proposal as well. This would be run by a committee that would provide quarterly updates to members to highlight the teams that are building within the ecosystem, the grants that have been funded, the outstanding RFPs, and the impact that we've had over time with the program. This is also going to have a dedicated section on the Nexus Bureau DAO website where anybody can keep up to date with things. I'll talk a little bit more about the DAO website here in just a minute. And there's a proposed committee of 5 members from the Foundation and DAO teams. Now, there is a call to action where if you would like to be on the committee, you can apply on the forum. We have some of the requirements on there as well. This will be up for review for another few days as well. This has been on the forum for about 2 weeks. So this will go to a DAO proposal, but please review and share your thoughts on the forum. My personal view is that this is a moonshot opportunity for the mutual. We're really trying to grow cover sales really substantially and getting people to build on top, giving people the resources and working closely with some really skilled teams to build on top and expand into new markets just represents a huge opportunity. There's a lot of one-off grants that we can give to people with engineering expertise, to get clarity on different areas where we can get some legal opinions and improve our interface. I mean, there's a lot that we can do on the grant side as well. So there's a lot that we can do here that'll help us supercharge cover sales. So I highly encourage everyone to review this on the forum. And then I want to talk a little bit about the DAO website, which we've overhauled. So the community team has updated the Nexus Mutual DAO website in the last 2 weeks. We've changed things quite a bit. We've changed the way it's laid out. We've added a lot more pages. The goal here is to provide more comprehensive resources for members on how to participate within the protocol, how to contribute and get involved within the DAO, how to learn more about the Nexus Mutual ecosystem and who's building on top, and how to take advantage of the resources that we have for members. The initial launch has information about the foundation and DAO teams, the governance hub with information on the protocol and DAO governance process, as well as an overview of active proposals on the governance calendar. If you want to keep up to date with all the proposals I've just talked about, you can look at the governance calendar. There is an update on what category it's in, the time frame for review. Once there is a vote that's active, there'll be a link in there as well. We've also got an overview on ways to participate within the protocol, a list of our third-party distributors, and the many resources we have in the members portal. In the coming weeks, we're going to be adding more content, such as videos, guides, integration resources, and more. We're also going to be working on the Staking Pool Managers Hub, which will be added sometime during Q2 with resources for new and existing staking pool managers. We'll be using the DAO website as a place to share core information about the DAO and governance, as well as updates from the DAO teams. Please check out the new DAO website. Let us know if there are any resources that you would like to see us add or work on, or if there's anything that we can improve. This project grew initially from the Governance Hub and Staking Pool Managers Hub deliverables in our last funding request. But we really wanted to create kind of a central place where people can go and stay up to date on everything, find all the resources that we have just in one spot. So we're trying to make this like a one-stop shop for anybody who wants to get active within the mutual and learn more about Nexus Mutual. This should improve transparency between the teams contributing to the DAO and Nexus Mutual members. So I'm really excited about the DAO website. Really encourage everyone to check it out. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. We'll be adding more cool stuff in the weeks to come. But I will hand things back over to Sim to talk about some of the recent cover sales.
Thanks, Brave, and thanks, you. I will go over the last week and review the latest cover sales. In the last week, the mutual sold more than $17 million worth of cover, and members earned more than $170,000 in fees. We have seen large cover buys for over $1 million for our bundled protocol covers, which offer a fixed yield and have Nexus Mutual integrated into their UI. And this seems like an interesting way to go for our product team to expand distribution with other protocols as well. Over the course of the entire month, for the last 3 weeks, our members earned more than $600 in fees, and our active cover amount is a little over $80 million at the moment. Like Brave and Hugh shared, there are a lot of exciting opportunities to contribute to the mutual. Make sure to check out the forum to learn more about the governance updates that Brave shared. And also the DAO website is ready for your review. Let us know what you'd like to see added. And also let us know if you have any other feedback or any other product requests on the Nexus Mutual Discord. Now I want to open the space up for any questions. Karn, Leonardo, Matti, if you have any questions or anything that you'd like to talk about, let us know. Other than that, we're always curious to hear about what you're doing in DeFi, what is interesting for you in DeFi at the moment. So please feel free to share your thoughts if you're comfortable. If not, I'd like to remind you that you can always reach us on the Nexus Mutual Discord and ask any questions or share any thoughts. For those of you who'd like to mint a POAP as a memorabilia for this community call, please tag me on the Nexus Mutual Discord. And I am Sam, and you can also tag Brave, and we'll make sure to let you know how you will be able to mint the POAP.
Yeah, if you tag us on Discord, or even if you just send us a message here on Twitter, what we can do is we'll send you a POAP mint link, and then you can use that to mint your POAP. So if you get send those links of a POAP to commemorate this call.
All right. Thanks everybody for joining us. We'll have another community call in 2 weeks' time, and we'll let you know on all our socials. Take care and stay safe in DeFi. Bye.
Have a great day, everybody.
Well, thanks everyone. Good to chat.